Hello gamers, Garlic here with DaPhat.com. Welcome to my first episode of How to Be a Raid Leader. The purpose for me making this particular guide is to help out the community and help explain my theories, my thought processes, and things that I've done over the years to make my raid group successful. Let me first start with going through some of my personal raid history, and we'll kind of move from there to a couple other topics that I'd like to cover in this short video introducing the series. I started raiding years ago, back in WoW, through Vanilla, as when I first started introducing myself to the raiding world. I was not a leader at that point in time, but I got to play with a solid group of friends. I didn't take it serious, I took it very casual. Unfortunately, my life at that point in time was a little more hectic than most people's. I was, starting out my career. Took a break from raiding, got my career together, got my life together, and played a couple casual games. Not raiding, really just running dungeons and instances with people and just filling my time enjoying what I do, which is playing MMO games with people that I consider friends. From there, I started playing a game called Runes of Magic, where my raid group and the guild that I ran at the time were known for boss strategies, downing bosses first on our shard, and clearing content. We had a really solid raid group. The biggest change from going from World of Warcraft to Runes of Magic is the raid group sizes. Runes of Magic was limited to 12 members in a raid group, which made managing the group a lot easier. Making sure the specs were correct, the characters were correct, you had the right party makeup. Shortly after, I was invited to play the Rift Alpha, and played all through Beta, and absolutely fell in love with playing Rift. In Rift, I run a relatively successful raid group. We are not a world first type of group, I just don't have that time with my life and my career, but we are a competitive casual core group. We try to raid 4 nights a week, about 2.5 hours a night, and I enjoy my time with them. Currently we're towards the end of our content. We've cleared almost everything in the game, enjoyed every moment of it, and I just want to touch on my raid leading, my style, and what has gotten us to where I am today. Now with that being said, I've only raided with another group a few times. I've been in pickup groups, I raided with another guild on an alt on the weekends for a small period of time. So I've experienced a lot of different types of raid leaders and raiders. I'm going to go and explain how I've developed my raiding skills over the year and lessons learned throughout these videos, and hopefully at the end of this, people that are new to raid leading should be able to follow these videos and hopefully pull enough knowledge and information to make your group successful. I'd first like to start by going over the types of raiders. In my experience, I have found that there are serious raiders that are very hardcore and are very serious about their progression. I have found that there are casual raiders, which they still want to progress, but they don't want to put in nearly as much time as a serious raider. I have found that there's also what I like to call just pickup groups, or non-scheduled, completely casual. They do not care to progress. They just enjoy playing the game, period. Within those groups, the serious raiders are normally the ones that are raiding 5 hours, 6 hours, 5 days a week or more, and they're usually really serious about getting in there and getting content cleared. Mostly you find the community now, as we've gotten older and grown up, are more catered towards the casual raiding scene. Now, there's people that come out and say they're casual core, or I am a hardcore casual raiding player. I would almost classify my current group as that. We're very serious about our progression, we're very serious about our classes and min-maxing our characters, but at the same time, we all have jobs and families and things that get in the way of us being able to play multiple hours, multiple nights a week. So at this point in time, in a lot of the gaming community, you're going to find most of your raiders are going to be more of the casual core or hardcore casual raiding type of player. And by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. You can be very successful and you can clear all the content in the game in a relatively short period of time. It's important that your group is very focused on what they're trying to accomplish. And when it comes time to raiding, they give you a very solid 2.5 hours while you're raiding that day. It's if your raiders aren't putting out the full effort, they're affecting everybody in the raid group. It takes a lot to organize and for people to set out time to come and join a raid group and commit to that group that they're going to be there, be on time, be prepared, and put out 100% effort. And at the same time, you should expect everyone that's part of that raid group to put out the same effort. Now I'm going to touch a little more on this as we get into the later episodes, but I just wanted to kind of really go over the types of raid groups that I've seen and I've been part of. I'd like to touch on now the types of raid leaders I've come across. I usually classify raid leaders under one of three categories. One of the main ones, the one that I personally did not enjoy raiding with, was a very aggressive, yelling, militant type of raid leader. Usually this raid leader is someone who is very, very serious about their progression, but at the same time, they do not have any patience for mistakes. Usually this raid leader is running a very hardcore raid group, and it takes a really thick skin to actually raid with this particular person. I personally enjoy playing games because they're fun, and the minute I have to start dealing with someone yelling at me or being aggressive, I completely shut down and the game loses its enjoyment. The second type of raid leader is a calm but firm raid leader. And what I mean by that is, you can get your point across without being rude, belittling, downing, or yelling at your raiders. Normally, I find that a raid leader that's calm and firm is respected by his raiders, and most people will follow them for quite some time. I personally like to think of myself as a calm but firm raid leader. I don't tend to yell much, but at the same time, I have expectations that I expect my raiders to be able to produce. If they can't perform, they can't execute, they really don't belong in that particular raid group. The last style of raiding would be a patient yet understanding and very calm raider. These are normally raid leaders that just really don't care. They're very casual. They're just having fun. They're going in there, banging their head on a boss for a while. They don't get mad. They don't yell. Normally, these type of raid leaders are people that are not very versed in the game or versed in the specs, are not very strategic. Normally, the raid groups don't succeed very far, or they have raiders in the group that are very intelligent and help the raid group along. That's normally the three types of raid leaders that I've come across. I'm sure there are other types you could come up with, but those are basically the three that I've always seen. And out of all of them, if I'm not leading the raid, the one that I'd like to be in is the very calm but firm raid leader. I'd like to thank you for watching my first video in how to lead a raid. I look forward to putting together multiple videos here in the future. In episode 2, I plan on covering setting standards and class leads and kind of going over some more detail about why they're important in a raid group. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.